This is Travis, co-founder of Kajabi, and today we have another opportunity to interview another Kajabi hero. Today it's Brittany Carmichael, or Britt, and she's here today to join us and tell us about your journey. So welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Travis. What an exciting opportunity. I've been able to watch so many other Kajabi heroes share their story, and there's always your time to shine, and that's my mantra. I inspire and empower women to shine from the inside, and my mantra for me has been, it's my time to shine. It's my time to shine. And as I shine my light, I can see everyone else shining theirs too. And that's what's brought me here. My brand is all about sparkle magic and shining. And I've spent a decade behind the chair as a hairdresser. And I worked exclusively with women. I've listened to all the ins and outs of how we tick and the way we think and feel about ourselves. And it's not pretty. Although they left looking pretty, I recognized that confidence was a choice that they were making. It wasn't in the highlights that I was giving them. And something in my spirit called me to step out from behind the chair and to start spreading my message online. And now with tools like Kajabi, I have the ability to do that. So here I am shining online and still behind the chair, which is so cool. I get to do all of my passions.
That is so cool. And for those of you that are listening to this, you have beautiful hair. What is it? Pink? Is that the color I'm seeing?
Yeah.
Very cool. And you have awesome butterfly tattoos all over. What's the story behind butterflies?
So butterflies, I think if I had to choose one symbol besides maybe the peace sign, butterflies would represent that transformation, that spiritual transformation that we all come here for. And it involves healing, and it involves pain from the past, and it involves overcoming those things. And I experienced a lot of troubles, just as many people have in their life. One specifically being that I had a struggle with my body size and loving my body. I was 200 pounds and overweight.
Wow.
And yeah, I know, right? I was like miserable in my body. And so I couldn't love myself fully because I had this obstacle of the body. And then in the same year, my mom had a massive stroke where she was completely paralyzed, and she could no longer speak. And I just had to get out of my own way and recognize that this striving for success isn't what it's about. I believe that joy is the new currency. And I think that if we're doing what we love and we can put that out there, then, we've done our great work. And so the butterfly represents that transformation for me, going from that 200-pound ball of anger and judgment and transforming spiritually and recognizing who I am as a soul and a spirit. And, namaste, I see that in everyone else. That's why I want to empower and inspire people to shine from the inside, because that is what is beautiful. I strived for so long being a hairdresser to be beautiful, because that was the industry I was in. And I didn't believe it. I didn't think I was, like, no, I'm fat, And once I let go of that mental BS, if you will, and I claimed a new story that said, I am lovable and I am beautiful. That's when the butterfly tattoo happened. It was actually my last tattoo. I started the day of my 18th birthday. And I think this was maybe just a few years ago that I got the butterflies to represent, like, I did it. And awesome. So can you, and that's really cool. That's my outward symbol to everyone. Like, you want change in your life, it's possible. You just have
Very cool. And I love how you said it's about changing your story, because I wholeheartedly believe that if you can imagine your life the way you'd like to see it and keep striving towards that story, things can happen. Because the other way around is we have stories in our head and then we repeat those negative stories, which causes more negativity. It's just super hard to make that first switch. Like, how did you start making that switch from going to where you're feeling overweight, you're a ball of anger, I think you said? What were some of the first steps?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And it's a simple answer, is you just have to start, and then it becomes easier. But the thing is it's that in-between period of, like, adjusting from the old story to the new story that I think people are scared of. And for me, it looked like this for me. My story was, I am fat. My new story was, I am beautiful. It was a simple shift, but it was uncomfortable and weird. And I had to constantly catch my internal dialogue, that inner mean girl, if you will, saying, like, you're fat. So every time I would get dressed or stand in the mirror, you're fat would come up. Then I would consciously, this is what happens. You have to be conscious when you want to make a change. You can't just close your eyes and be like, okay, wherever you'll take me. Like, you're probably not going to like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Going to teach you some lessons you weren't ready for. So I feel like when you're conscious about change and you notice, like, okay, my internal dialogue says I'm fat. Well, let me switch to I am beautiful. So that's what I did. I caught my internal mean girl saying, I'm fat. I would say, no, cancel. cancel, cancel. And, you know, the law of attraction says we have 17 seconds to focus on something before it begins to materialize, as you were talking about attracting that into your life.
Yep.
So as we're focusing on your internal story, you're drawing that into your life, and that's what it will be like. In January, I had the vision that I would be on the Kajabi Hero wall and being interviewed. And today it manifested. So it's like, you just have to hold that vision in your mind so strong, without a doubt, 100% confidence and faith that that is your path and that will happen.
Sure.
And it will be. So the way I adjusted was hearing the story I didn't want and saying, no, cancel. And then inserting the story that I did want, and I felt it and I believed it, and it was weird and uncomfortable for a little while. But they say habits only take 21 days, right? So after 21 days of like changing your story consciously, it becomes a habit, and it's a healthy habit.
Yeah, that's great, because I think we always want to try the hard thing. Like, it must be hard to do that, even though it is hard. But how simple is it to change what you say about yourself? Because I have the same inner voice that constantly is saying the negative thing.
Sure.
And just to shift that seems so simple, but it's such a dramatic impact, because then you're just changing the way you're looking at it every single day, which is, like you said, the first step. That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, it's a miracle. A shift in perception is a miracle. That's the definition. And so for you to be able to create miracles in a moment, just by saying, no, this is what I am, this is what I decide, this is right for me, then you've created a miracle. Like, you're a miracle worker.
That's awesome.
Just
That's
by
really
changing
cool.
your mind, just by choosing again. And here's the thing, we're either choosing fear or we're choosing love. And my fear-based story was I'm fat. And my love-based story is I am beautiful. Now you don't need it. Once you get it, you don't need a story. It's like, once you've mastered the technique, you don't need the tool anymore.
Sure.
But it takes practice.
What were the next steps? Like, after you did that and that was becoming concrete, what were the next steps to lose that much weight? I mean, dude, I know we're not even talking about that, but that is that's really powerful. Here, I'm going to raise my desk up.
Yeah, I would love to share it. So like I said, what you focus on expands, and you draw that into your life. You look like you're on a space shuttle.
No, I know. I'm moving my desk up because I'm sitting down, and it's more fun to stand up when I do
That's so cool. So I was 200 pounds, and I was staring in the mirror, and I'm like, what did I do? I did this to myself. Like, every thought, every piece of food, and every mean feeling I experienced, like, I did this. And a lot of the times, the people that are holding on to emotion are actually storing it in our fat. So I find that I work with a lot of sensitive people, people that are empathic, or people that are psychic, or things like that. And because we feel so much in our bodies, we take it in, and we're like, ooh, if I can take your pain, then I can make it better for you. But what we fail to realize is that if we take it in, we have to do something with it. And if we're not educated in how to transmute or transform energy, how to release energy, then we store it in our fat cells. And that's what I recognize now, looking back. Only hindsight, we can be smart, right?
Sure.
I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I was trying to take everyone else's pain and shove it into my left hip, my right hip.
Yeah.
And in addition to carrying their emotions, I was then noticing my emotions were being affected by that negative, painful energy that I was scooping up from all of my clients, you know. Like, I call myself a therapist because it's cooler than a therapist, but you know, like, we have some style. But that's what it is. Like, women dump all of their stuff out. And if you're the right person, if you open that space or that container, or the right man or whatever, then people will give it to you, and you'll say, okay, I will help to heal you. But we're not healing ourselves. And that's the first thing my mom said after she was able to speak after her stroke. I said, Mom, why'd you do this to yourself? This is when I was learning about law of attraction. And we just cut to the truth. That's my family. That's the cloth we are cut from. Okay. We just don't mess around. So I said, why'd you do this to yourself, Mom? And she said, because everybody needed something from me. And that's when I decided to create Shine School. And that was my journey. This is what I'm launching actually in 2 weeks here on Kajabi. I'm so excited. But that was my journey from learning that I didn't love myself. I didn't make rituals and self-care priority. And it was just a long journey of learning to forgive myself, learning to forgive other people. And when you set your sight on health, wellness, change for the better, the events and situations that you need, the knowledge that you need, finds its way into your life in magical ways. I cannot explain how I know some of the stuff I know. But I started learning about pH and keeping an alkaline rich environment in the body. And that if we eat alkaline based foods, then we'll raise our pH. And if we keep our pH above, at a 7.35, I'm getting all scientific. I have pink hair, but I know about science, guys. Like, you can have it all. So anyway, I learned that if you're eating acidic things or drinking acidic coffee, sugar, meat, cheese, dairy, gluten, wheat, all these things that we eat all the time here in America, they're so acidic, and they're pulling all of our energy down, and our body's having to work and recover to be able to rebuild all the crap you're doing to it unknowingly. And so as I became conscious of this, I started recognizing that, oh, well, plants are alkaline, we should eat plants. And so it's been a 4.5-year journey of eating plant-based, and I've dropped all the weight. I'm happy as I've ever, like they say, the better it gets, but oh my gosh, like joy level 1000, because I finally accept myself. I'm finally at peace. And when you're in that state, you can't help but want to give it to others. And what better way to do it than having an online platform?
I know. Yeah.
It's genius.
That's very cool. I'm getting a lot from this. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are some ways you can release energy? You were talking about how you take on.
Yeah.
And I would say that's me all the way. I stress about everything, my parents, my family, my kids, Kajabi, customers. What are ways to release that energy that you've been taking on?
Yeah, there's a couple of fun ways. And like I said, I cut to the truth, so I hope you enjoy this, but orgasming is one, which is one of the best ones. And so many people are like, oh, let's not talk about that, hush, hush. But it's the life force energy that's creating everything here on this planet. So if we're talking about energy and we're energetic beings, then we need to begin to address that. And that's one of the beautiful ways we were blessed with naturally, to be able to release, relax, and heal. Other ways are taking hot Epsom salt baths. This is my favorite way. And I like to get in after I get home from the salon, because again, I take everyone's energy in, and I do psychic tarot reading and coaching for female entrepreneurs. So I take all their energy in too. Yeah. And then I run an online space. I get it, man. And I love my family. She's like stroked out. I got to take care of my mom, I get that. So what's important is taking care of yourself first, and you have to be selfish about it. And the Epsom salt baths have been my number one way, in addition to the first. Also screaming, which I know isn't the best option, but it gets it out. My husband's favorite method is taking a tennis racket and beating a pillow until you diffuse and burn the energy. Because if you've ever noticed you're mad, right? Let's say you're mad at something and energy is building, and anger just means something's unfair, right? So we have to learn to understand what our emotions mean, energy and motion, right? They're communicating to us from the body saying, hey, something's going on. It's not that we are angry, that we are that energy. So we notice anger comes up, right? And we're like, we break something. That was my method of diffusing energy in the past. I found better ones, like salt baths and orgasms and stuff. But this anger comes up, right? And you diffuse it. Let's say you break something, or you say something you don't mean. And then the energy is expelled, right? It's out of your system. And then you're like, shoot, I didn't mean to say that. I'm so sorry. Yeah, and then you're like, I didn't mean to break that. I love that thing. And so this is a not so good way of releasing the energy. You notice now that our emotions are the energetic release. And so laughing, crying, all of these ways of getting this energy out of our system, is beneficial. The salt bath is probably the best for the body and the spirit at the same time, because you're relaxing out all the toxins with that magnesium.
That's awesome. So when did you go from just being a hairdresser to I'm going to start applying this? I'm going to start teaching people. I'm going to start coaching people. Yeah,
absolutely. So like I said, I've been behind the chair for 10 years, and about 2012, that's when I say all my shit hit the fan. And I think that Mayans were totally right about that. My mom had the stroke. I was overweight and overworked and just was miserable in my job, but I loved what I did. So I didn't understand, how could I be so miserable, but I love what I do. And it's because I wasn't taking care of my energy. I was showing up with an empty cup and trying to give from that. And that's impossible. It depletes us. And so, so 2012 was that major turning point where I realized something needed to change. And I started listening to that inner guidance that we have. And I just came across a Gandhi quote that says, if you have faith in God at all, then worry is the worst thing you can do with your body. My husband says worry is living in the future and planning to fail, just about thinking about our thoughts and thinking about what we're internalizing, we're going to create in our reality. So 2012, I realized, I became aware, conscious, oh gosh, I'm not doing what I want to be doing, know I should be doing, not should be, but to be the best me. I'm not performing that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I started doing the work on myself. I started learning NLP, Tony Robbins, Brendon, like all of the people out there putting out this information on like how to be motivated, and I'm all of that. I'm determined. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 5 years old. My dad tells this great story of us turning in all these aluminum cans for cash. And the guy was like eating a burger and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be talking with my mouth full." And I was like, "As long as you're talking cash, I don't care." So like I've had that drive, but there was so much negativity and anger and just holding me back. And so I just unleashed and was like, "Okay, world, I'm ready. Like I'm ready to let my soul out. So I'm ready to let my soul shine."
Sure.
And so I started applying all of those principles into my own life in 2012 and 2013. Of course, I saw my mom, stroke out. My dad had a heart attack, and it's like, okay, I can't live like what they're living. It's not working. The way they're eating, the way they're not moving their body, the way they're thinking because they're worried and it's just about money. And, I had to overcome those, embedded beliefs because we learn them as children, right?
Sure.
So I did the work. You got to do the work, people. I did the work on myself. There are way too many coaches out there saying, "I can coach you, but I'm not confident." Then who are you to go out there and tell people what to do? Do the work first. And then you can't help but share that with other people. So I did the work. And in 2014, I started posting positive quotes on Facebook. I'm like, I'm so tired of this drama and this negativity. This is not a space to vent your energy. This is a space to connect. And, this is why we come together. There's, two sides of the coin when it comes to social media. So I chose the positive side, and I started posting these quotes. They were for me, really. I was like, I need this inspiration. So I was posting Brian Tracy. I mean, all of them. I went back to like Jackson Kiddard, like old school philosophy, like people that get it, not new age, like, not into the fluff. I want the real stuff that came like Think and Grow Rich style.
Sure. Yeah. With results. Real stuff.
So we did it. My husband and I went on this journey together. So he was 275. Now he's 165. Like we both went through this transformation together.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So we're doing this together. We like to teach together. And so we decided we've always wanted to work together. We're freaking soulmates, man. When we've known from the beginning. He was like, "I could be a hairdresser." I'm like, "Nah." "I could be real estate agent." I'm like, "No, I definitely can't do that." And so like I said, in 2014, that began that journey of like, let's put positivity out into the world. And in about 2015, I was like, I'm going to be an inspirational leader. Like, I want to empower people. I've always been a leader and I didn't like that role. I'm like, why are people following me? Like, go blaze your own trail. But I understand that there are certain people that need that. And we came here to play our roles. So I took acceptance. In 2015, I said, okay, I accept my role as a spiritual teacher and inspirational leader. And it was like a contract I made with the universe. And every day I've just been guided, write an email, post this, talk about forgiveness, talk about jealousy, talk about this. And I'll just share my thoughts or what I'm going through. And people start reaching out. "Oh my God, I so needed that today. Oh my God, thank you for that positive message. Oh, thank you for that before and after picture of you. Holy smokes, like it's possible."
Sure.
And that just began. And so about a year and a half ago, I made myself a blog, and BrittanyCarmichael.com. And that was my stepping out from behind the chair, because I started practicing on all my clients. I would start saying, "Hey, like, have you ever considered this?" I started using NLP techniques on them, like practicing, like if I phrase it in a certain way, will it make it their idea? And they'll love that because we all love our own ideas.
Sure.
And so I started implanting all these great ideas and seeds in their lives. And they would come back after 6 weeks or 8 weeks and be like, "I quit that job. Nice. I left that bad relationship. I started my passion. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm doing it." And so then I was like, "Oh my God, these people are listening to me."
That's so good.
And it's creating beautiful, positive change in their life. And so then I realized, like, my soul was like, make videos. Everyone in the world was saying, make videos. Even my husband's dad, who's like not on social media, he's like, "You need to make videos." So it was like the universe guides you and directs you by the requests and the things that you're being asked to do. And so started making videos, and I started speaking up and saying, "Hey, you can love yourself, right? Like, that's totally acceptable and that's necessary, And so I discovered Kajabi a year ago at Brendon Burchard's Experts Academy. right when you guys launched the new Kajabi. And my soul, again, I'm listening to my soul, and she's like, yes, invest in yourself, go do it now. And I, at the time, had I was kind of doing some stuff, making money outside of the salon, doing tarot readings and coaching some of my hair clients outside of the salon. And then once I invested in Kajabi and just did it, I started making landing pages and people started getting on my list. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is happening. And then I found the offers section, and then I started making all these offers like, here, book a tarot reading, book a coaching package, which please make it possible for the same person to buy the same offer, because my repeat clients are wanting to buy.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I will make a note of that for sure. Well,
trust me, I've written in.
Okay. So, keep telling them that. I'll go tell them to in person.
Seriously, the pink hair girl, because like if I offer a tarot reading and people want to buy it 2 weeks later, then they can't. And so it's like, well, okay. So then I started getting creative with how I was making funnels and things like that. Yeah. And for the last year and a half, I've been creating Shine School, and it's been a balance. I've had to be a hairdresser and a mentor in my hair salon to my assistant. And I've had to learn how to make opt-ins and lead magnets and funnels and courses and blogs and everything.
It's a whole new kind of work that you're having to do.
It's a whole new world. But because my heart is leading me, I don't feel burnt out in both of them. I know that this too shall pass with the hair salon. It taught me what I needed. It was a vehicle to get me here to understand women and to be able to teach and actually me learn the lessons of loving yourself,
That's so awesome.
So Shine School is like my transformation. And I want all women to like know that like that transformation's so worth it. It's not easy.
Well, what's cool is that you literally took your own life, your own experiences, your own struggles, and you were able to overcome it for yourself first. And now you're sharing with other people, which is, I love these kind of stories, because this is one of the most powerful ways to use Kajabi is to take what's inside of you, the good things inside of you, and share it with the world. And you change your life, you change your husband's life. Now you're changing other people's lives. I love it.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's everyone's choice though. I can't change anyone's life who doesn't want it. But today, at this point in time, I can feel it. I can feel everyone's like change. I'm yearning for it because the soul is getting louder and louder and saying, hey, you're not in alignment with what you really love and what you want to be doing. And with things like Kajabi, being able to take your knowledge and the things that you've learned in your lifetime and be able to share that in a way, it's like game changer. And I'm like, oh my God, you can make passive money? Like what? Because I grew up, like I said, in that struggling mentality of being a service-based business, but being the best damn service-based business you can be, but you get capped out. There's only
you only
one
have
of
so
me.
much time.
Yeah, there's only one of me. Yeah. I'm making another one, but
So tell me about how you're doing these readings. You're using Kajabi for this. So you're not delivering, let's say, content through Kajabi. You're just using it to book like a certain amount of time. And then how do you deliver the reading? Do you use video? Is it in person?
Yep. So, like I said, I had to get creative with y'all's system. So I created an offer where when people go to my website, it'll say, here's all the psychic reading information. You want to book a one-on-one, click here. So they click it and it goes straight to the offer page because I use my website as the sales page. And they go to the offer, they check out, and then it sends them to a thank you page. And on the thank you page, I have a little button. And instead of it going to whatever, I have them click on my calendar. So then they click on my calendar, and then they get to book an appointment with me. Then it notifies me that they booked it this time. They've already paid. And then we get on Skype one-on-one, and I'll record, or Zoom, whatever. And I'll record the session, and we'll make magic happen. And then I'll send them the playback, and that's what I've been doing. I also have coaching through that. I have like 90-day coaching packages where I check out. And so my goal this year is to launch my first course and open a membership with my husband called The Elevated Life, where we teach these mindset shifts so that you can create those radical transformations in your life, because it is simple, but it just, you got to rewire a little.
It's simple, but we still make it complicated. Just like your concept of telling yourself you're beautiful, that is pretty simple. So simple. But it's also really hard to make that shift.
Well, I have nothing for you on that one. It's just, you suffer long enough.
Yes. You're
going to make the change. And that's where I didn't have a magic pill or this epiphany, an angel comes down and says, oh, it's time. Like it just was I was done. I was so done being my own worst critic. And now that I love and believe and support in myself, which if you're saying that you're having those same struggles too, I can only imagine what Kajabi will look like, as you fully empower and believe in like, yes, I'm doing great. Like, I hope this conversation proves to you that the work that you've done to create this platform is helping other people to change their life and other people's lives by spreading positive messages. It isn't just about, I see the term like network marketer. I'm like, I could never call myself that. Although I know all about it, and I got my 3-part video series, and like, I get that. But like, no, I'm using that tool. Like I said, use the tool and get it out there. And
I think about this all the time. I think about the burden of what Kenny and I have created, but in a good way, because it was our vision, it was our dream. But now that we're here, like, I want to keep improving myself to be the best version of myself so we can take it wherever it needs to go. And sometimes that can be overwhelming. Sometimes it's incredible. So it's good to hear all these like positive thoughts and like a lot of these changes you've done, because I'm sure I'll probably start doing the same thing.
Go for it.
Instead of looking and be like, oh yeah, I could go on a diet, I will think, I look good. I look manly.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? Because when you start to love and appreciate the body that you have today, you'll start taking the action that's in alignment with loving your body. And you'll be making more empowered choices when you go to the grocery store, or when you go out to eat, or when you choose to do whatever you're going to do. You'll come from that energy of like, no, I love my body. I love myself. Yeah. And you won't even know that you're making the changes. You'll be like, nah, I don't really need that extra piece or that whatever. And it just kind of naturally happens, but it's all about changing the energy first, because everyone's waiting for the change to happen, and then they'll change their energy or their mood or their mind.
Yes. Yep.
It ain't gonna work.
That's right. Yeah. You're waiting for that perfect day when you feel like changing.
Yeah. Everyone says like, I don't feel like working out. Well, you know what? No one ever does. But once you do it, you feel amazing. Amazing.
That's
and
true.
I struggled with that many times. Honestly, you have to have that person that helps to inspire you as well. And I'm so glad to have a husband that supports and inspires me,
That's awesome. So let's go back to your journey on Kajabi. What do you think was the hardest part? What do you think was the part where you're like, I don't think I'm ever going to figure this out. I don't think I'm ever going to do it. Like, where do you think you might've gotten stuck, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah. So the cool thing about being married to an Aquarius is that they're the knowledge seekers. And the thing that he's taught me is to always ask for help or to Google it. And so when I'm in Kajabi, if I can't figure something out, I immediately go to your help section and I say, hey, I'm stuck with this. And they always help me out. And it's always simple too, because it's like, well, I was in there. I just wasn't clicking on the right thing. So I don't find that it's that hard or that complicated. It's just a matter of clicking and playing around. I think that it's really optimized for people that don't understand code, or haven't messed with that. I was coding on MySpace back in the day,
Yes, I remember doing that.
MySpace coder over here. So now I don't want to mess with that. It's cool. I think in colors and sparkles, not numbers and letters and stuff. So I love to be able to just click the color and change it. I honestly find places where I would like to optimize it even more, like to be able to change the color of the login button when you get login details. Trust me, I've written in about that too. So
good. Keep doing that.
I love being able to tweak and change things. And I find that with Kajabi, you can, like, so easy. So do I have a struggle in Kajabi? No, because you have an excellent help section that always answers my question, no matter how annoying I am about, well, what's this? And how do you do this? And I have 4 more questions for you while I've got, so
good.
I don't find that it's hard to use at all, honestly.
So tell me about when you first were like, okay, I'm making landing pages. What were you using for your opt-ins? What did you use to entice people to give up their emails? This is something people struggle with at first. Yeah.
So I started making guidebooks, like detox and declutter guidebook, how to simplify your life and attract abundance. Because when you let go of the old, you can bring in the new, right? I made a guidebook called Move Your Booty, and it was about moving your energy, not necessarily running a marathon, because you'll never catch me doing that. But it's about expressing the energy. So I started making guidebooks because I thought they were so pretty. I recognize that everything that you create is not going to be that one thing that's like, that's going to be the thing. Like, it's going to make me famous. Like, no, like, it's just like, what do people need right now? And the thing that I've had the most success with, so I started with that. I started with coloring sheets, like mandalas, so people could unlock their creativity. Just kind of.
How are you creating these? Are you using just Canva? Oh, I love Canva. So you went into Canva, you laid them out, you made them look really nice, then turn them into probably like a PDF or something when you're done.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So I started making these guidebooks, and then I started doing guided meditations, like a self-love guided meditation, so that you could start. That's what was one of the biggest tools to help me reprogram my mind, was guided meditation and hypnosis and things of that caliber. And so I thought, well, if it helped me the most, why wouldn't I give that to someone else? So I started doing that. And I think that to date, I have like almost a 30% conversion for that self-love guided meditation.
Awesome.
Which I asked my husband, like, is that good? He's like, that's real good. I'm like, okay, cool. So there are some things I know and there's some things I don't really care about, but that one was like my soul wanted me to put that out there. So guidebooks, meditations. Then I created a full-on ebook that really directed people to my Facebook group, because that's where I'm putting out like a lot of my passion and energy. I figured if I could create a sisterhood tribe online, then I could market to I say market because we're talking business, but the whole point was to inspire. I don't market myself at all, actually. I never say, hey, I have a one-on-one coaching package, or I have a this, or I'd never do that, because I'm so damn busy with being a hairdresser, making my online course, and building my platform as an inspirational leader online. So I never tried to market myself. I was too busy. But when you're putting out good value into the world, you'll get the right ones. They will knock your door down.
Very true. Very true. That's very good advice. So the next thing I want to ask is, what's next? You talked about you're working on a course, or you're working on something you're going to deliver. Tell us about that.
Oh my gosh. I am so excited. And honestly, it was like magic, because I went to Brendon Burchard's Experts Academy last May, and I started writing all the 3-part opt-in series as if I had Shine School. I'm like, I am not even close. I just have an outline on a piece of paper. And I just was like, it will be. So I'm going to pretend as if I already have it. And so that began that process. So every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when I'm not in the salon, I'm working on Shine School. And Shine School is, like I said, my transformative journey. It's a 6-week online course, of course, in Kajabi, of self-discovery. And I started making the slides in Canva, and then I moved them over to Keynote, because once I made all the slides and they were done, I was like, wait, they don't move. So I had to start over and then go put them into Keynote. And then boom, Kajabi came into my life, and I started recording the audios, and I didn't do direct to camera. I decided to do just the Keynote situation because I thought it would be easier. Now I know that I'm awesome on video. I should definitely stick to my strong suit, but I wanted to try something. I want to try it all and see what I like. And so once I got Shine School finished, which was just a few weeks ago, pipelines came out. I was like, oh my gosh, like the universe, Kajabi, everyone's working in my favor for this course. So Shine School's coming out. I'm building my sales page, which I was totally on the help desk going, why can't I change this and this layout? And she said, you need to be using Premiere. I'm like, oh yes, magic. Okay. Then I opened up Premiere. I was like, are you kidding me? I don't even want to talk about it. So now I'm in love with building my sales page. That's the stage I'm in. That's amazing. Every part of building a course and sharing your message is its own birth, its own entity. And I'm in building the marketing promo entity, which is so cool. And then, like I said, my husband and I want to start the membership program.
Awesome.
I don't even know how you even do that, how it's going to get started. But like I said, I've been able to figure it out.
It's very similar to everything you've already done of just creating an offer and content, and you can have it be subscription. So they pay every month. I mean,
that's what I'm looking for, buddy.
Yeah, that's right. Passive recurring income. That's good.
Yes.
So where can we find you? You mentioned some of your sites, but where's the best place for people who are listening?
Yep. You can find me at BrittanyCarmichael.com. That's where all of my home base is. I'll be talking about Shine School over there. And like I said, I've created that self-love guided meditation. It's not just for women. It's for anyone who is on that path of like, I want to connect with my soul and start loving myself. Like, I'm over this. I'm just over it. And you'll be able to find that easily when you check out my website. And I also am always hanging out in Instagram at The World by Britt with 1 T.
Very cool. This has been a lot of fun. And I feel like I've understood why I'm feeling so tired today, because I'm sitting here thinking I am exhausted. I even texted my wife and I'm like, babe, I'm so tired today. And it's because of stress, things that I'm worried about, things that I'm letting come in. And so thank you. I feel like you've lifted a little weight off my shoulders today, just reshifting the things that were stressing me out. So.
And how much better do you feel?
I feel good. And I feel like I could do even more to even like relax a little bit more. And I remember the thing, I went to a conference once and they had us yell like almost at our problems, and it was like refreshing.
Absolutely.
Like we
You just
dropped a
have to
lot of
get it out.
F-bombs and yelled and then they had us get in face to face with the person next to us. And it was like you're screaming, and it was really powerful.
Yeah. Well, once we hang up here, I'm sure you can just let it out.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. This has been really cool. And any last words you want to share with people out there if they're stuck or they just haven't done it yet? What would be your encouragement?
Yeah. My number one advice is always be yourself, and the rest is taken care of. But if you're stuck and you're not like comfortable in being yourself, then what is that one thing your soul has been nudging at you for the longest? Start taking action in that direction, and the rest will change. So just start moving.
Awesome. Well, Britt, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching or listening. This has been Britt Carmichael, and I feel like I've gotten a lot out of this. Hopefully you've heard that voice inside and you're thinking, okay, I can do this too. So thanks for watching, and pretty soon I'm going to be interviewing you as the next Kajabi Hero. Thanks.